Hollywood, the land of dreams and glamour, is not just about red carpets, blockbuster movies, and glittering awards. It is also a hotbed for intense rivalries and dramatic feuds. The entertainment industry, with its larger-than-life personalities and high stakes, often becomes a breeding ground for conflicts. These feuds can start for a myriad of reasons: professional jealousy, personal disagreements, competition for roles, or even misunderstandings blown out of proportion by the media. Whatever the cause, these conflicts often play out publicly, providing endless fodder for tabloids and fans alike. Bette Davis versus Joan Crawford, the original feud. No discussion of Hollywood feuds would be complete without mentioning the legendary rivalry between Bette Davis and Joan Crawford. Their animosity was the stuff of Hollywood legend and has been immortalized in the FX series Feud, Bette and Joan. The tension between these two icons reportedly began over roles and men, and it reached its zenith during the filming of the 1962 classic Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. On set, the two actresses reportedly engaged in a series of hostile acts, from petty pranks to physical altercations. Davis allegedly kicked Crawford so hard during a scene that she required stitches, while Crawford filled her costume with weights to make it difficult for Davis to move her. Their feud spilled over into the press, with both actresses giving scathing interviews about each other. Despite their mutual hatred, their on-screen chemistry was undeniable, and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane was a critical and commercial success. The film's success, however, did nothing to thaw their icy relationship. The feud continued until Crawford's death in 1977, and even then, Davis couldn't resist taking one final swipe, famously saying, "You should never say bad things about the dead. You should only say good. Joan Crawford is dead. Good." Taylor Swift versus Kanye West, a modern-day saga. One of the most infamous feuds of the 21st century is undoubtedly the ongoing conflict between Taylor Swift and Kanye West. This feud began in 2009 at the MTV Video Music Awards when Kanye West interrupted Taylor Swift's acceptance speech for Best Female Video. Grabbing the microphone, he declared that Beyoncé deserved the award instead, leaving Swift stunned and the audience in shock. This incident sparked a public backlash against West and garnered Swift a wave of sympathy. The feud seemed to simmer down for a while, but it reignited in 2016 with the release of Kanye's song Famous, in which he rapped about making Swift famous and referred to her in derogatory terms. Swift condemned the song, claiming she had never approved the lyrics. The feud took another twist when Kim Kardashian, Kanye's wife, released a series of Snapchat videos that appeared to show Swift approving the lyrics in a phone call with Kanye. Swift maintained that she was never told about the specific lyric referring to her as derogatory, leading to a heated public debate over who was telling the truth. The feud has had a significant impact on both artists' careers, shaping their public personas and influencing their music. Swift addressed the feud in several of her songs, including Look What You Made Me Do and This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things, while Kanye continued to court controversy with his outspoken comments and erratic behavior. Olivia de Havilland versus Joan Fontaine, sisterly strife. Sibling rivalry took on a new level with the tension between Olivia de Havilland and Joan Fontaine. Both actresses achieved great success in Hollywood, winning Oscars and starring in iconic films. However, their rivalry was deeply personal, stemming from childhood jealousy and competition. Their feud became public knowledge in 1941, when both sisters were nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actress, Olivia for Hold Back the Dawn and Joan for Suspicion. Joan won the award, and their strained relationship was evident in their interactions. According to reports, Olivia refused to congratulate Joan, and the sisters barely spoke to each other for years. The rivalry continued for decades, with the sisters often taking subtle jabs at each other in interviews. Despite their shared success, their relationship remained fraught with tension and resentment. They reportedly attempted to reconcile in their later years, but the wounds ran deep and they never fully mended their bond. Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Sylvester Stallone, the battle of the action heroes. The battle for action hero supremacy defined the 1980s and 1990s, with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone constantly trying to outdo each other. From competing over box office success to throwing public shade, their rivalry was fierce and often humorous. The two stars traded barbs in the press, with Schwarzenegger famously mocking Stallone's roles in the Rocky and Rambo franchises. Stallone, in turn, ridiculed Schwarzenegger's acting abilities and Austrian accent. Their rivalry extended to their film choices, with both actors trying to outmuscle and outgross each other at the box office. Despite the tension, the two action legends eventually buried the hatchet and even worked together in the Expendables series, which brought together several iconic action stars. Their rivalry may have been intense, but it ultimately led to mutual respect and collaboration. Mariah Carey versus Jennifer Lopez, the queens of pop at odds. Mariah Carey's infamous "I don't know her" comment about Jennifer Lopez has fueled rumors of a feud for decades. While the origins of their rivalry remain unclear, Carey's dismissive remark has become a meme-worthy moment and indicative of tension between the two music icons. The feud reportedly began in the early 2000s when Carey felt that Lopez was copying her style and sound. The rivalry was further fueled by industry insiders and the media, who often pitted the two divas against each other. Despite occasional public denials of any animosity, the tension between Carey and Lopez has persisted, with both stars making veiled references to each other in interviews. Bill Murray versus Lucy Liu. On-set tension. On the set of Charlie's Angels, Bill Murray and Lucy Liu reportedly clashed during filming. Allegedly, Murray criticized Liu's acting, leading to an explosive argument. Murray did not return for the sequel, and reports of the altercation became a major Hollywood talking point. Despite the tension, both actors have gone on to have successful careers, with Liu starring in hit TV shows like Elementary and Murray continuing to be a beloved figure in comedy. The feud serves as a reminder of the pressures and challenges of working in the high-stakes world of Hollywood. Liam and Noel Gallagher, sibling rivalry in rock. The Gallagher brothers, frontmen of the band Oasis, had a contentious rivalry long before the band's official breakup in 2009. Disputes about the direction of the band, allegations of drug and alcohol use, physical fights, and no-shows at important performances fueled their feud, which continued even after the breakup. The brothers' public spats and insults have become legendary, with both Liam and Noel taking to social media to air their grievances. Despite occasional hints at reconciliation, the feud shows no signs of ending, and the chances of an Oasis reunion remain slim. Lauren Conrad versus Heidi Montag, reality TV drama. The reality TV show The Hills showcased the journey from BFFs to rivals between Lauren Conrad and Heidi Montag. Conrad ended their friendship over an alleged rumor started by Montag about a sex tape involving Conrad and Jason Waller, leading to a highly publicized feud. The tension between the two reality stars became a central storyline of The Hills, with viewers eagerly following their every move. Despite attempts at reconciliation, their friendship never fully recovered, and the feud became one of the most memorable moments in reality TV history. Florence Pugh versus Olivia Wilde, on-set tension. The production of Don't Worry Darling was reportedly troubled, with one of the most intriguing aspects being Olivia Wilde's effusive praise for Florence Pugh, which Pugh mostly did not return. Leaked tapes in which Wilde appears to be dismissive of her lead actor added to the tension, and the two were chilly towards each other at the premiere. The tension between Wilde and Pugh has sparked much speculation and gossip, with fans and industry insiders eager to learn more about the dynamics on set. The feud has added an extra layer of intrigue to the film's release and marketing. Sean Young versus James Woods, legal battles and accusations. Playing a troubled married couple on The Boost, the two actors got into it legally, with Woods suing Young for stalking. The lawsuit was settled out of court, with Young receiving $227,000 in legal fees. The two dispute how it all started, with Young maintaining it resulted from Woods having a crush on her and her turning him down. The legal battle between Young and Woods became a major Hollywood talking point, with both actors giving conflicting accounts of their interactions. The feud highlighted the intense personal conflicts that can arise on movie sets and the lasting impact they can have on careers. Joan Rivers versus Johnny Carson, a friendship turned sour. Joan Rivers and Johnny Carson had a close professional relationship, with Rivers frequently appearing on The Tonight Show and serving as Carson's guest host. However, their friendship soured when Rivers accepted a deal to host her own late-night talk show on a competing network. Carson reportedly felt betrayed, as he had been instrumental in launching Rivers' career. He refused to speak to her again, and their rift became one of Hollywood's most infamous feuds. Despite Rivers' attempts to reconcile, Carson remained firm in his decision to cut ties, leading to a decades-long estrangement until Carson's death in 2005. Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B, rap rivalry explodes. The feud between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B has been one of the most explosive rivalries in recent years. The tension between the two rappers became public at the 2018 Harper's Bazaar Icons party, where they were involved in a physical altercation. The incident, which resulted in Cardi B leaving the event with a visible bump on her forehead, stemmed from a series of perceived slights and social media jabs. Both artists have publicly addressed their issues in interviews and songs, with Minaj accusing Cardi B of trying to sabotage her career, and Cardi B claiming that Minaj had been spreading lies about her. The feud has divided fans and sparked intense debates about competition and support among female rappers. While there have been occasional attempts at reconciliation, the rivalry remains a prominent topic in the music industry. Vin Diesel versus Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson Fast and Furious feud. The Fast and Furious franchise has been a major success, but behind the scenes, tensions have run high between stars Vin Diesel and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. The feud reportedly began during the filming of The Fate of the Furious, with Johnson posting a now infamous Instagram rant calling out unnamed male co-stars for their unprofessional behavior. It was later revealed that his comments were directed at Diesel. The two actors have publicly addressed their differences, with Diesel claiming that their conflict was due to creative differences, and Johnson criticizing Diesel's leadership on set. The feud led to Johnson's decision not to appear in the franchise's 9th installment, instead focusing on his spin-off, Hobbs and Shaw. Despite their differences, both actors have expressed a willingness to move on and possibly reconcile in the future. Paris Hilton versus Lindsay Lohan, Party Girls clash. In the early 2000s, Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan were two of the biggest names in Hollywood's party scene. However, their friendship quickly turned sour, leading to a highly publicized feud. The rivalry reportedly began when Lohan started dating Hilton's ex-boyfriend, Stavros Niarchos. The two were frequently seen taking jabs at each other in the media, with Hilton famously calling Lohan a fire crotch in a leaked video. The feud reached its peak in 2006, when Lohan and Hilton were involved in a physical altercation at a nightclub. The incident, along with their ongoing public spats, fueled tabloid headlines and further solidified their status as Hollywood's most infamous frenemies. Although both have since moved on and maintained a more private life, their feud remains a defining moment in early 2000s pop culture. William Shatner versus George Takei, Star Trek Turbulence. The Star Trek franchise has brought joy to millions of fans worldwide, but behind the scenes, tensions ran high between William Shatner and George Takei. The feud reportedly began during the original series, with Takei accusing Shatner of being egotistical and difficult to work with. The animosity continued for decades, with Takei publicly criticizing Shatner in interviews and Shatner firing back with his own comments. The feud reached a notable point in 2008 when Takei married his longtime partner, and Shatner was not invited to the wedding. Shatner expressed his hurt over the snub, but Takei stood by his decision, citing their strained relationship. Despite occasional attempts at reconciliation, the tension between the two remains, with their feud serving as a reminder of the complex dynamics within the Star Trek cast. Madonna versus Lady Gaga, Pop Queen Showdown. Madonna and Lady Gaga, two of the biggest names in pop music, have had a rivalry that has captivated fans and media alike. The feud reportedly began when Madonna accused Gaga of copying her style and sound, particularly with the release of Gaga's hit single Born This Way, which Madonna claimed was too similar to her own song Express Yourself. Both artists have made veiled references to each other in interviews and performances, with Gaga defending her originality and Madonna emphasizing her influence on the music industry. Despite occasional public displays of mutual respect, the tension between the two pop icons has persisted, fueling debates among fans about their respective legacies. Demi Lovato versus Selena Gomez, former friends fallout. Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez were once close friends, having grown up together on the set of Barney and Friends and later working for Disney Channel. However, their friendship reportedly deteriorated over the years, leading to a public fallout. The tension between the two became apparent through social media, with Lovato unfollowing Gomez on various platforms and making cryptic comments about their relationship. The feud has been fueled by rumors of jealousy and differing priorities, with both artists focusing on their individual careers and personal growth. Despite occasional attempts at reconciliation, the friendship has never fully recovered, leaving fans nostalgic for their once strong bond. Kim Kardashian versus Taylor Swift, public feud explodes. The feud between Kim Kardashian and Taylor Swift began when Kim released a series of Snapchat videos that appeared to show Swift approving the controversial lyrics in Kanye West's song Famous. The release of the videos reignited the ongoing tension between Swift and West, with Swift accusing Kim of selectively editing the footage to paint her in a negative light. The public fallout was intense, with both Kim and Swift addressing the feud in interviews and on social media. The hashtag #JustKimExposed Taylor Party trended worldwide, and fans were divided over whom to support. The feud has had a lasting impact on both celebrities' public images, with Swift often addressing the conflict in her music and Kim maintaining her position in the ongoing dispute. Rosie O'Donnell versus Donald Trump, media mogul showdown. The feud between Rosie O'Donnell and Donald Trump began in 2006, when O'Donnell criticized Trump on The View, calling him a snake oil salesman and questioning his moral character. Trump responded with a series of harsh personal attacks, calling O'Donnell a loser and making derogatory comments about her appearance and career. The public feud escalated over the years, with both parties taking jabs at each other in interviews and on social media. The conflict became even more prominent when Trump ran for president, with O'Donnell becoming a vocal critic of his campaign and presidency. Despite attempts at reconciliation, the feud remains a defining moment in both of their careers. Taylor Swift versus Katy Perry, pop star rivalry. The feud between Taylor Swift and Katy Perry reportedly began over backup dancers, with Swift accusing Perry of trying to sabotage her tour by hiring away her dancers. The rivalry was further fueled by social media jabs and subtle references in their music. Swift's song Bad Blood is widely believed to be about Perry, while Perry's Swish Swish is seen as a response to Swift. Both artists have publicly addressed the feud, with Swift emphasizing the betrayal she felt and Perry calling for unity among female artists. The rivalry has divided fans and sparked intense debates about competition and support in the music industry. Despite occasional attempts at reconciliation, the feud has had a lasting impact on their public images. Justin Bieber versus Orlando Bloom, brawl in Ibiza. The feud between Justin Bieber and Orlando Bloom made headlines in 2014 when the two were involved in a physical altercation at a nightclub in Ibiza. The conflict reportedly stemmed from Bieber's comments about Bloom's ex-wife, Miranda Kerr, and Bloom's rumored romance with Bieber's ex-girlfriend, Selena Gomez. The altercation was captured on video and quickly went viral, with fans and media speculating about the underlying reasons for the brawl. Both Bieber and Bloom addressed the incident in interviews, with Bloom downplaying the conflict and Bieber making cryptic social media posts. The feud served as a reminder of the intense scrutiny and pressure faced by celebrities in their personal lives. Tom Cruise versus Brooke Shields, war of words. The feud between Tom Cruise and Brooke Shields began in 2005, when Cruise criticized Shields for taking antidepressants to treat postpartum depression. Cruise, a known advocate for Scientology, which opposes psychiatric medication, called Shields' use of antidepressants irresponsible and questioned the validity of psychiatric treatment. Shields responded by defending her decision and criticizing Cruise for his lack of understanding of mental health issues. The public debate sparked a broader conversation about mental health, medication, and the role of celebrities in influencing public opinion. Despite occasional attempts at reconciliation, the feud remains a notable moment in both stars' careers. Vin Diesel versus Tyrese Gibson, Fast and Furious fallout. The Fast and Furious franchise has been a breeding ground for conflicts, with one of the most notable feuds being between Vin Diesel and Tyrese Gibson. The tension reportedly began when Gibson publicly criticized Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for his involvement in the franchise's spin-off Hobbs and Shaw, which led to delays in the main series production. Gibson's comments extended to Diesel, whom he accused of being unsupportive and prioritizing his own interests over the franchise. The feud played out on social media, with both actors making public statements about their grievances. Despite the tension, the fast,